So, I'm back on talking about light-skinned dudes. This one light-skinned dude in particular who I met at the Bush Airport, and I started dating him. So, after that day that he took me to his house before he took me home, after that blew over, I was still mind blown over the fact that he was snorting cocaine in front of me, and then he offered me some and was telling me that I was scary. Like, it wasn't that I was scared. Well, I was scared, but like, my mom was still living at the time, and I didn't want to come back to the house looking like I was under the influence because I was still living up under her roof. And I was around 29 at the time. So, the same light-skinned guy that I met at the airport, and I'm going to use his real name because, like, I don't want to give him a fake name because he's a fuckboy. His name was Aaron. Okay, so one morning he called me and he's like, "Do you want to go to breakfast?" And this was before we both had to be at work at a certain time, so I didn't have to ride the bus to work that day because he came to where I was living at, picked me up, and we went to breakfast at Denny's. And then after we went to breakfast at Denny's, he was trying to ask me if I wanted to get a room. I told him no, we don't have time for that. And he came and picked me up at 5 a.m. in the morning, and I had to start work like around 8. But I'm gonna say 3 weeks later, after that, for some reason, he really wasn't talking to me anymore. He wasn't answering my text messages. So I got in my feelings about it. And I called him. I said, "Aaron." He's like, "What's up?" I say, Why it seem like you acting funny with me? I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Why you acting funny? Why you being weird with me?" He's like, "I didn't want to have to tell you this, but when I picked you up the first day, and the girl that was in the car sitting in the front seat, that was my girlfriend." I'm like, "Oh, really?" So that girl that was sitting in the front seat, and she sure was ugly, and had a big nose that took up all the space in her face, that was your girlfriend? And then she stood there and watched me get in the front seat with you? Like, what kind of boyfriend you are? He proceeds to say, "She said for me to tell you to stop calling my phone." I say, put her on the phone. Put her on the phone. I got something to tell her. I'm like, "Where's she at?" She laying right beside me. I'm like, "I don't care." I say, you got some kind of audacity to tell me that she said to stop calling your phone. I say, "Do she know what we did? Do she even know after you dropped her off, you took me to your house? And then on top of that, the sex wasn't even good. You couldn't even stay hard 30 minutes, and that, like, you out of line. You out of line. And I said, fuck you and fuck her. And then on top of that, the bitch worked at the same airport, the same job that he do. She used to drive the carts also. But I'm trying to figure out, like, that day that I got in the car, and of course she didn't speak. I got in the back seat. He drops her off, and then he tells me to get in the front seat with him. Like, I'm trying to figure out, how did he maneuver how did he let her know that all he was gonna do was take me home? Like, yeah, right. So I'm gonna say probably a year later, I quit the airport, and I was on Facebook and trying to connect with old friends that I went to school with, and some of them that I also work with at the Bush Airport. So I sees his profile, Aaron, and then I friend requested him. This dude went right on the head and, like, got in my inbox, asked me could he come over. No, he sent me his phone number through my inbox first. Then he and I started communicating. It's a thing about light-skinned dudes. Like I say, some of them, at least the ones that I've come in contact with in my life, they always feel like they're so entitled, and they always act like they want every woman to kiss their ass. Like, I still don't know how some light-skinned dudes that I used to know got away with the shit that they used to get away with when they were with me. But him in particular, he and I connected. We connected through Facebook. And yeah, I gave him my address. He came to my house to see me in his little red, expensive Porsche, or whatever kind of, it was an expensive red car. And I don't know. To me, light-skinned dudes, especially him, are such eye candy that they're so good looking. But at times, they can just treat you so cruel. Sometimes they can treat a woman so cruel and just have you feeling. Long story short, when he and I connected on Facebook, he used to come to my house every weekend, and sometimes he would spend the night. But he began to get on my nerves. He started wanting me to get up early in the morning on the Saturday, because he would come into my house to spend the night on the Friday, but he would want me to get up early in the morning and fix him a big breakfast. And I'm like, dude, I'm not cooking for you all the time. And the only person I will cook for is my child, not you. And I'm like, don't you have to leave? Don't you have to be at the airport and drive that cart and make your money? You ain't, like, when do you go to work?